back. This is Kotal for another Rights UEC event. It is Friday. God, I forgot the date. Oh, I apologize. It's Friday. It's already starting off well. There we go. All right, so we already screwing up. We have a server population of 284. With 140 on the CSA, 141 versus 144 for the USA. So a full pop. About even teams. Yeah, about a couple off on the CSA, but a few folks might just be logging in still. This is Dunker Church, which is a skirmish off of the Antina map pack. The USA is attacking the CSA. And let's see who is on that USA team. We have 52nd New York, 6 New York under Lieutenant Parker, 8th Florida, who is joined by 7th New York, 3rd Alabama, 2 Corps, which is in 2 lines. Looks like, I'm not sure who's overall commander at the moment, but I will see soon. Then we have, okay, here, Major Braun looks like he's in command. And then we have SB 51st New York, who is joined by...
F6, lads, F6.
Looks like that's it. And SB is under Major Venom. There are 2 positions for the Union. Looks like they have 2 guns. One here under Jeff Davis Battery, under Corporal Habib. And then another one by SB under Corporal Leo. And it looks like actually they have a 3rd cannon position. Let's take a look who's on this cannon position here off to Union left. And that is 2 Corps. Looks like Lieutenant Colonel Tobias. Now let's take a look at the CSA. Starting out with their infantry, they have German Corps, LFL, AGL, 39th New York, who's joined by SR, A&V, looks like he's under Colonel Killer, 20th Georgia under Colonel Jumbo, 12th VA under Captain Flores, AGL, oh, that's a gun crew for AGL, and then 56 Virginia as well. Then for Artie they have AGL on 1 gun. In addition, looks like they got another gun under LFL, and a final gun under Henry Perkins from the VA Battery A. So 3 cannons apiece. And at 40 minutes, we are live. We shall see how the CSA decides they want to set up their defense. Looks like they are having several units peel off here to the CSA right. That includes the 39th, who I missed earlier, under Captain David. Apologies for that. German Corps, who's under Captain Jack Stone. And LFL under Colonel Famas. Looks like they have 20th Georgia as kind of a reserve here in the center. And then to the left, they have AGL under 2nd Lieutenant Marius, 56 Virginia under Captain Slaughter, as well as, on this far left, Captain Flores for the 12th Virginia, and Colonel Killer for the A&V. Let's see how the Union decides they want to approach this attack. All right, so looks like we have the initial stream here coming into the center. And that is Sergeant Empling leading the 52nd. He's occupying this center position here, slightly elevated ground with the defilade behind it. And he is going to be joined by Captain Williamson from the 3rd Alabama. So they will occupy the center, but the rest of the Union is heading for this line here on the far right of the CSA. On the 39th New York, Captain David. Let's see how he can, and his skirmishers can slow down this Union's line coming in. Nice arty shot by the CSA. will push off that initial skirmish group with this almost full weight of the Union, minus 2 elements here in the center. Nothing on the far right side for the Union. So after that initial skirmish unit has been pushed off, they have actually pulled back with what is left, but still got some of his men out of there. So good job by Captain David there, and has allowed the CSA to start forming up its defense line. The next unit they're going to run into here is Captain Slaughter in the 56th Virginia. But he has some friends. In reserve behind him is the German Corps, who's putting down some volleys, along with LFL and 12th Virginia. So several units on this right side, and Captain David is starting to get them back together. By the way, just as an admin note, I have adjusted some of my settings, both sound and graphical. Hope they improve the overall screen quality. If they made it worse, let me know. If they made it better, let me know. But a couple people pointed out to me, thankfully, that there were some issues, so hopefully I've been able to address some of them. Union is stacking up, but they don't appear to be in a rush to take the side at the moment. Instead, I think they want to engage at a distance. Using a bit of a cheat here. Concern over buck and ball was mentioned by one of the commanders, so it appears they want to use their rifled muskets to fight at a distance. And they are in a position, I'm not gonna say it's impossible for Artie to hit, because I've seen some Artie get some fire down on them, but
6 men on the flag. Well, 7.
looks like they're starting to move up a bit. Is that already coming in? 2 Corps putting down some fire on that far side. Looks like the rest of 2 Corps got hit by that already shot. Ron is getting his guys organized. But the Union is not staying there anymore. They are coming in. Here comes Hogg leading the 8th Florida. And once more, the 39th will pull back as skirmishers. And the CSA, even though they're pulling back a bit, they have a strong defensive line here. The Union now has to try and get through.
Are we still at the independent fire, Lieutenant?
Yes.
And now looks like some additional help is coming to join Hogg. And that is Parker with the 6th New York coming up on his right.
Come on, let's go. Dress up, people. Flag, how many?
5.
Major, 5 is up.
That and providing some support slightly behind as Braun brings up 2 Corps. Looks like he's going to provide some coverage to the Union right. In the meantime, we do have Union elements here in this center position. 52nd, along with 3rd Alabama, that's trying to tie down CSA elements here on the left side and harass that Artie fire. So far, looking at casualties, CSA has definitely gotten the worst of it. Union has pushed up, being very deliberate in their advance, and is now occupied the opposite fence side of this road with a small covering force on this side. We'll have to see how the CSA decides they want to react to this.
Down.
See those guys running to the left.
Lifting left, lads.
There's a big line in front of us.
US already doing some work. Let's take a look at the CS line back here. It's a little bit tough to see with the foliage. Trees.
Are not falling back, which is quite annoying.
Words are tough.
C'est parti à gauche.
Alright. Looks like they are getting chewed up a little bit back here by this concentrated Union fire. So I think the Union strategy is working pretty well right now. Let's take a look at this center fight. Really just Artie over here right now. Looks like Killer is redeploying his men. We'll have to see where he pops back out. He's using the trees here, the woods as concealment to mask his movement. So it's a smart move by him. No need to let the enemy know where you're going. And it looks like the Union is starting to push up a bit. Leading the way is Parker and the 6th New York.
Up and over.
Hog is coming up to join him. Alright, so here is CSA. So 39th New York has deployed, is now harassing Union flank here. Union is pushing up. Now they're getting a little bit more aggressive. Here's Hog. Along with 7th New York to join him from 8th and this one. So you got 7th New York and 8th Florida here. It's a combined unit. And they are firing into 56th and 12th. Along with GC is also in the mix here. So LFL has come to attack the flank of 8th Florida, but 6th New York came up to defend him. Parker covering the flank of his teammates there. And now Parker's charging in. And he is charging into the flank of that combined element that was here. He's carrying the attack forward.
Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing.
He was able to disrupt them a little bit, but now he is wiped out. He did not have additional support going in with him. And now, with that though, CSA has an opportunity here. And it's AGL that's going to try to take advantage. Now hitting into the flank of Hog. Lieutenant Marius now catching the Union a little out of position. It will put in some pretty heavy fire into 8th Florida. Good move there by Marius. So now the CSA has this, right side of their field pretty much intact and secured. In the meantime, 2nd Corps is going to try to hold down this left flank, it looks like, while SB moves up to this corner here. Major Venom. Still have harassing fire coming from the other Union elements that are in the center.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's that in the forest there, Lieutenant? Is that friendly there?
We have enemy to the southwest.
Apologize to the CSA, I'm not covering as much. It's tough for me to see in the woods, so I tend to avoid that a bit. But Jumbo has brought out the 20th Georgia here, so I can get at least a little bit. See how they do. Against, I believe this is Empling up here in the 52nd. And he is charging his men forward. Is he going in for a charge? He's been spotted. Yep, and they are charging in. It was not, it was 3rd Alabama, not 52nd. That Jumbo was able to charge in. Some Union already put down some covering fire. 20th Georgia lost several men with that, but they have pushed off the Union from this center position. Alright. So now the CSA has they are engaged a little bit down below. Union battle ready, 28 minutes. CSA has retained far left and the center now. And now this element here is going to be in a bit of a bind. As they are taking fire from at least 2 directions. The CSA already is no longer going to be harassed as much as they were, so they'll be able to put down some additional fire. Well, it looks like the Union is reorganizing back here. Is Empling? No, just Empling. He's trying to get his men back. So Union reinforcements looks like they are going to go back. This is the left side of the field. Here's Hogg bringing up his men. He is joined by Parker.
Flag, I think, so if someone can go unless it's the one in front. Oh yeah. Here we go.
So despite being in a bit of a bind, Union has been able to hold this position long enough for reinforcements to come up and continue to wear down the CSA tickets. Well, Braun is taking, and the 2 Corps is taking some pretty heavy fire. Here comes the help for Venom. Parker coming up on his right side. Letting off a nice volley there. CSA still controlling the woods there. They have been able to pull back and reorganize when necessary, so good discipline there by the CSA, and it looks like we have some elements redeploying here from the CSA left towards the right, and it is killer. So this may change the balance of power quite significantly here on this right side once you bring in the A and B. We'll see how that develops. That can kind of stabilize the line and prevent too far of ticket loss. Looks like the Union is also reorganizing those elements that were more towards the center now as well. Alright, with that, that is all Venom could do. He's pulling his men back to reorganize, but Parker's there to pick up the slack. 2 Corps is also pushed back, and they have moved back to join 8th Florida here, 7th New York, in a pretty significant line. Parker saw that he would have been isolated, so he is changing his men more towards the center. But he got caught a bit in the open, and if he's not careful, here's this right here. 39th New York making him pay for it a bit.
Yeah.
Remember, this one is a...
Yep. Parker's going to have to pull his men back. So good maneuvering there by Captain David. But 3rd Alabama has seized this position, this corner fence here. And Parker is going to lead what's left of his men to join with the 3rd Alabama here while they clear out the Artie. So good maneuvering there by Williamson. Does he have support? He's got a bit of support on his wing here by 52nd and Empling, but they're a little bit far back as a CSA element is maneuvering on him. And it is AGL, some extras. So we'll see how this AGL attack goes. Let's see, so Williamson saw it. They have put down a volley. Let's see the response. And so far, it looks like they're pretty evenly matched. You got Parker guarding this left side. And now we got, here comes 52nd. They are maneuvering here. Empling trying to get some flanking fire on the CSA element right there on AGL. That is going to put them in a bit of a bind.
Jack.
Ross? Wenn ihr eine gute Schussmöglichkeit habt.
So even with that, though, AGL, with good use of cover, is holding strong. Marker's element that was out here has now had to fall back, and Williamson has been pretty heavily attrited. So good discipline here by the CSA so far.
Break reload,
Let's see what AGL does. All right, they're going to pull back a little bit as well. Looks like both sides are pretty wary of casualties at the moment. Comes 39th New York is maneuvering again. So the Union has abandoned this left side here, and looks like they are reorganizing back by their arty. The only elements left out here are the elements from in right, which is Williamson, 3rd Alabama, alongside with Emory in the 52nd. And that cannon is looking right at him. Yep. That'll hurt. Canister right to the face. I'm surprised the CSA hasn't just come out to wipe these guys. I think they have the manpower for it. They might not realize. Oh wait, here they come. No, it's just the arty. Alright, no, here comes David with the 39th New York. And that will do it. Flag is down. Get a couple guys trying to save it. Bass Falcon, live up to your name. Nope. Still have one Union element here. The 52nd, but they are now isolated. So it looks like the Union has now opted to cease fighting over the left side. It's now moved to concentrate on the center. So, kind of picking up a screening position here is Hogg on the hill. But then attacking forward, we got several elements here. Marker leading the way with the New York Cav, joined by Braun and 2 Corps. There are additional elements coming forward. Looks like Venom is still getting his men together back here. Alright, so now Hogg, after providing some cover, is pushing up as well. So we're going to have a fight for this fence here. But, got a pretty thick line, AGL and 39th New York here, that they're going to have to run into and take off, along with the CSA already.
Flag down.
Jetzt schnell rum. Rum. Schön weit rum, links vom Zaun.
Looks like the weight of the Union is starting to make some good progress.
Weiter rum.
CSA already is trying to get their cannon moving in position, but CSA elements have come up. Here's 12th Virginia. They are putting some independent fire into the Union. They are joined by the son of the element here. I did. 56 Virginia. Slaughter also bringing these guys up, using a nice position here. Shade giving some good concealment. And the CSA, though, has been pushed to taking losses. 19-20 left in the match. There's a final element out here. It's Jumbo. He's tangling with the Union elements that are on this corner here. It was just 50 seconds, and it still is, but they have been joined by 8th Florida. Is charging in along with the 7th New York. Here comes Fritz. How will Fritz do in this attack against Jumbo? I think he's got the weight of numbers. He will quickly overwhelm them. Where does he go next? Alright, he's going to hold for now. Alright, meantime, Venom has brought his men up a bit, but they are taking some pretty heavy fire. The CSA has established a flanking base of fire here with between Killer and LFL under FAMAS and A and V. Well, Hamas is LFL, Killer's A and B. Apologies for that. They have a good angle on the Union elements. That is a lot of very concentrated volley fire coming in. That's going to be hard for the Union to deal with, as they still do not have full coverage here in the center. And in fact, Venom is pulling his men back. It was too much for him to hold. So now the Union is a bit isolated on this side. They do control this point here, and 8th Florida is the forward element with the base of fire behind him. CSA can pull back to the woods as they have done. Masks their movements. So here comes Jack Stone with the GC. He's going to try his luck against 8th Florida. And he will catch them. He will not follow up the charge, he will pull back. But AGL will push forward. And they are going to charge the main line of the Union. And here comes Slaughter with the 56 to join him. Even though AGL has kind of melted, with that, 56 has taken the flank. And they are trying to finish off this combined units that remains. But Slaughter has made the calculus. He cannot defeat it, so he is pulling back. The Union will still have a toehold here. They are not quite defeated. And frankly, now that I'm seeing Venom there, I don't think that was the wrong at all. So as Venom tries to secure that portion there, we have Killer moving his men up, occupying this hill. He sneak behind the Union line. He will have a very good shot on Venom in the SP. Let's see how he does.
Already up to that line.
Venom saw it, so he's moving to meet him. But Killer still got off several shots there before the Union really got its fire. Union does have some additional support back there. Alright, Killer saw he didn't have the advantage, so he is pulling his men back behind the safety of the hill. They have less tickets, they are taking losses. So if you don't have the advantage, no point in sending good men after bad. Observe those tickets. We have Hog now occupying this far right side, trying to get this element organized. We do have the CSA maneuvering. 12th VA is putting down a base of fire. Now Slaughter is trying to maneuver onto the right flank. See if he can manage it.
We've had a hold.
We've had a hold.
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 Ja, doch, genau gegenüber. Feuer kommt die. Ready.
Fire landed when it stopped.
Ey, das war geklaut.
Hey, direkt voraus geklaut.
Fire.
And the Union is actually going to pull back just as 56 was coming on there. So Parker and Hog are going to try to reorganize for our next attack. They are ahead on tickets, but they don't have too much time left. All right, they're going to be joined by Braun here. Empling is kind of guarding the flank as 2 Corps moves up. You have one element out here. It is Venom, who's still kind of facing off against Killer. But now he is a bit isolated. While Killer has a base of fire. Support coming from LFL while he maneuvers his men. Killer goes up to scout.
I want them to try and come for us. Grab for. Yes, go get it. Exactly.
But they are not making a move yet. But the Union has opted to go for their extreme right flank now. See if they can roll up the CSA. So on this far side now, switching up the field, 2 Corps. Braun is coming up. They are crossing the fence, taking some fire as they do. They are taking fire from Slaughter in the 56. Additional CSA maneuvering though. As Braun occupies that side, we do have AGL moving up. They might be able to cut the Union off from their retreat. Although Slaughter has had to push his men back a bit. But Jumbo with the 20th is there to support him. Here comes the AGL. They're going to charge out 2 Corps. And they will succeed in pushing 2 Corps. And they retreated right into Jumbo in the 20th. So an excellent charge there by the by AGL. Now the Union does have some support here in the center by Hogg, but it's not really going to do them too much at the moment. Now the Union has sent a force to try to reoccupy the centerpiece. It is 3rd Alabama, who's charging into the Arty. Pretty heavy Arty shots coming in there. Now, looks like the CSA is moving back to support the Arty. At least the LFL is. Along with additional elements. Does the Union have left in the center? Not much. Killer's still there to kind of keep him busy. You have 52nd still guarding the flank here. So Union still hasn't gone in too deep now after that initial attack by 2 Corps. But they still occupy this fence and they're starting to move up here. Here's Parker. He is exchanging fire with 12th VA. And 12th VA is pulling back. He knows he's low on tickets. He can't afford to take too many losses, so unless he's got the advantage, he is pulling out. Good strategy there by the CSA. Use that cover. Fight battles you can't win. Not even win. Don't fight battles that are even. You're not even on tickets, so.
Right face at the double. Right face at the double.
Right face at the double.
Let's see what the CSA and the, well, really the Union decides to do. Still have 52nd here. Tangling here with A and V. Getting off a volley. Zeppelin still just a few men here and there. Keeping that flank secure. Tying down larger units with the CSA. Still got LFL and A&V down there. But that will be it for the 52nd. They will have to pull back. Did the job as long as they could. Our Union get pretty aggressive out here. And there is a pincer going on against Slaughter. He is isolated here. 8th Florida and NYV will catch him. In a very well maneuvered pincer there. That is going to cost them several tickets. And now the Union is well positioned here to now move up into the woods. Do have some opposition. Here comes AGL again. Also have, I believe this is 12th Virginia. Yep. Still kind of in the woods. And now we see AGL's trying to maneuver up here. Can they catch the backs of the Yankees? They can. But the Union was able to use that rock to get some coverage. AGL is now kind of out in the open as the tickets start to go down a bit. I don't know if you want to be in this shootout right now. Not against that Union force. And that will do it. CSA is now on braking. And they are pulling back. The damage is done. CSA is on braking. Ace 45 left in the match. You're not taking losses, but still several tickets left. So I imagine the Union now may get much more aggressive than they have been on the point. Although they are not well positioned to cap at the moment.
Flag up, flag up, flag up.
Left. Maintain the fire, guys. Maintain the fire. On the left of blue. Keep it up. Taking over.
And it looks like we have a Union play going on here. Okay, so Williamson is going to take the center, while 2 Corps is going to go on this left side. Let's see how this attack goes. They completely bypassed 39th, just ignoring it. As 3rd Alabama goes in to clear out the Arty, as the rest of the Union here is now pushing up, forcing Colonel Famas and the LFL to pull their men back. And then we have SB Venom is coming in and intercept GC, who was going to try to chase off that other Union element, but they're going to get hit in the side. And they have the fence. Well, here comes A and V. They're going to try to finish off this element here. Well, the Union gets too much of a bridgehead. And they will succeed in knocking off Venom. There is another fight going on over here. This 2 Corps holds this corner, and they are tangling with LFL. But almost missed it. Looks like there's a charge going on here, as 52nd is charged off by 12th Virginia, forcing them back and buying very important time. That clock, so a good charge there by 12th VA. And now it looks like the only Union elements left here threatening the point is 2 Corps, but they are in a pretty strong position. I guess the question is, does the CSA try to wipe them out? Or try to drain the clock a bit? It's going to be tough to take them out, and just as I'm speaking, the Union line is coming up. On the far right side, they also have to deal with. Looks like some Union is still tangling back here. I missed this completely. Who is this? All right, 8th Florida and NYV came up on the, it's tough to see in this foliage back here, but they actually came up behind the CSA and are really messing with their reinforcements back here. Disrupting their rear lines, giving time for the other elements to move forward. Coming to join them is Hogg, is bringing up some reinforcements. 2 Corps still holding strong. Right. Looks like Flores did another charge. He was able to
Nice, boys. Nice work.
catch Hogg and his men before the reinforcements came up. There's still some cab guys left that are going to make him pay for it a bit. Right, so good maneuver there. But while that's going on, 2 Corps has moved on to the point. Ron preserving his strength here, occupying this fence. GC's going to try to charge him off, though. They were fine as they were off the point, but now that they're on the point, they've got no choice but to charge him off. AGL has joined in. But Williamson is coming up with the 3rd Alabama, trying to flood the center here. And it will not be enough yet. CSA will hold the field, but here comes another element. It is SB trying to retake the corner fence. Fortunately, it looks like the Union's coming in a bit piecemeal. Has given the CSA time to deal with one problem and turn to the next one. They are taking out tickets, though, the whole time. We'll see if it's enough. Venom tries to hold this corner, but he has taken a lot of fire from a lot of directions. And tried to get that cannon off. He said no. All right, so Venom's still holding. Despite it, as the CSA sets its defense, A&V, Killer putting his men out here in a good position to catch the Union in the flank as they come up here. So good positioning there by Killer. He's not getting distracted here by the point. And there's other elements here, like LFL, that are already doing a good job of holding the point but staying far back enough. GC as well, to avoid taking heavy casualties from the Union already. Just taking a shot, keeping the Union off base a bit, continuing the fire. Venom's still holding, but his men are starting to go down pretty significantly. All right, now here comes the Union flood into the center. Leading the way is Ace Florida with Hog. I don't have time for too much else. Gotta just try to punch enough to take the point. Union is flooding in. A&V charged in, though, behind to hit the Union in the flank. Kind of disrupt their attack a bit, keep them off point. Well, I like that maneuver by Killer there. And they are now at last stand, though. Minute 35 left. LFL now tangling here on point along with GC. There are no more respawns. Here comes Slaughter with his guys. Still several Union regiments flood in. Not units really, just individuals. Already coming in. But CSA will hold. So a nice job by the CSA there. I really like they used that cover well. Popped in, popped out. Was able to catch the Union. They did a pretty good, I would say the Union did a good job for the most part, especially when they stayed together. I've seen this the map a couple times like this. When the Union gets isolated, you know, they can get defeated in detail. The CSA knows what they're doing. They can really pick those units apart and just lay heavy fire down on them, especially when you got units that know what they're doing. So, good overall match. Good way to start the weekend. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope this is useful to those unit commanders and leaders. Let's take a look at the casualties. For CSA, we have 852 for the Union, 1095, and that will be it for the first match. Hope to see y'all for the next one. This is Kotal, signing off.